Welcome to the 100th episode of Max Magazine. For the last 100 episodes, Max has brought you stories about people, places, and events from all over the province of Saskatchewan. Join us as we explore past episodes, what it takes to tell stories, creative troubleshooting in the field, and moments that will bring a tear, educate your mind, or tickle your funny bone. Hello, I'm your host, Brad Grass, and welcome to a very special edition of Max Magazine. Can you believe it? This is our 100th episode! Amazing! Can you believe it? 100 episodes, Skelly. That's a lot of years, a lot of stories, amazing stories too, and every single one of them have the incredible, talented, phenomenal fabric that make up this province, all these incredible people. And a lot of these stories, too, very inspirational and definitely leave you with an impression. One that comes to mind. Remember Carolyn Fry, Scott? Now, this is a girl. Tragedy struck, and she was left in a wheelchair. But then she became a wheelchair athlete. You know what I just heard recently? She's got her sights set on the 2012 Paralympic Games in London, England. Amazing story. Oh, the SaskTel pioneers, what about them? I mean, they leave incredible inspiration wherever they go. There was that story where they were working with the Canadian military personnel and their families. It's the Troop Bear program. Incredible story. I'll tell you what, while we get ready to get this party started, why don't you take a minute and take a look at some of these inspiring, incredible stories.
Tonight, it's just a track session, so I'll be in my racing chair for probably about the next hour and a half. And tonight we have an interval session, so it's a timed workout, 2 minutes of intensity, 1 minute of recovery, and just a repetition, so we can't do it anymore. The story of how I came to be in a wheelchair is a pretty short one. I was up on my roof at home, and I ended up falling. I hit my head, so I have absolutely no idea how I fell or what happened. I just woke up in ICU. And as far as racing, how I got involved in that was once again a pretty accelerated process. I approached Rick, my coach, who happens to be my neighbor, about getting into a racing chair because I wanted to try it out. And he found me a chair to try. And with 24 hours, I'd been stuffed in the chair, taught how to push, and raced my first race.
What Kira took to it, she caught on to the technical side, which is the most important side of our sport, right away. Like, it was just instant. She got in, and within a few sessions, she had it. So she took to it very well and excelled very quickly.
It's a lot easier to get around if you have the strength to do it, and sport definitely gave me the opportunity to develop the strength so I could get around more efficiently. My coach and my parents have been very helpful. They've created very supporting environments, and they've learned how to push me without pushing me too far, kind of where you want to quit. I do have a personal motto, and it's if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. And every time I'm kind of having trouble, sometimes I think about that, just to kind of figure out what's working, what's not working, and go from there.
The Hug-A-Bears is a project that has been around for almost as long as pioneering, which is like 97 years for pioneering internationally. What the Hug-A-Bears are is if there's an accident situation or any kind of tragedy, unfortunately, with any children involved, we have the EMS and firefighters and police people had these little bears in their vehicles, and if they went to a scene and a child was there and was just not doing that well, they would have this little bear, and it's just a plain little bear made out of fun fur by the pioneers. They would give them this bear to comfort them.
We started what we call the Troop Bear Project, and they're cute, cuddly little bears that are handmade and stuffed by our volunteers. And they were designed to be given to the families who have someone serving overseas, whether it's a child or a mother, a father, or a grandmother. It's a way to have something to hold on to, something tangible to hold on to connect the memory of every time you hug that little bear, you're thinking of that person who you have so many miles away and wishing them to come home safely.
Thank you very much. Wow.
We didn't think it was going to be a whole lot, but it's proven to be a lot. It means a lot to them. You think a little bear, but it's really, that's how it all got started.
If only every serving member here and overseas could see this sort of thing and understand that there is support like this, I think it would just be marvelous. And please God, bring them all home safely.
Music brings people together.
Okay, B-Rad, I understand you've done some singing, is that right?
I dabble.
Well, would you like a warm-up?
Me.
We
love you, SaskTel, you're the best.
L is for the way you look at me. O, 'cause you're the only one I see.
I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine.
With a word she can get what she came for. If you change your mind, take a chance, 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 take a chance.
Baby, you know what I mean when I thank you for watching Max Magazine.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Sometimes I'm amazed at the talent in this province. From the kids to the elderly, music is so bountiful. So lend your ear to my words and follow the sound of the birds. With rappers like TK and G-Star that score and some good old-time fiddlers. Keep us begging for more.
It's coming down like this, in your mouth like you and TK and playing and loving, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, music thing, I mean, in my native country, the hip hop is, I mean, it's not really known down there because they play their own music native. But because I've been around to many countries and they play different hip hop. Like if you go to Tanzania, they have hip hop, but it's not like here. It's different. If you go to Kenya, there's hip hop, but it's not like here. So I grew up around hip hop music and it's something that I always wanted to do. I mean, I like the music here, it's good, but my music, like I'm doing it, it's way a little bit different. Put your hands in the air if you like to party. Shake your body around if you like to party. Don't be shy, man, bring your girlfriend. Don't be shy, girl, bring your boyfriend. When I make a CD or a song, and then I take it to school and my friends listen to it, and they come back to me, like people who never used to talk to me at school, when they listen to me and then they come out, hey TK, this is great, and they want a handshake, they want a hug and all of that stuff. It makes me feel good. We say, hey, I'm recording something, I'm like, get out of here. So, you know, like even my mom didn't believe that I was actually making a CD with G-Star. So like, you know, don't let nothing bring you down, man, just do your own thing, you know.
My fans keep supporting me daily, nightly, you know. Just keep doing that, man. Don't stop, man.
One of the biggest joys is when the band is playing and they're good players and the dance floor is full of people who are good dancers and it's like one of those things where the music and the dancing because music is governed by time. If you're going to play a jig at this tempo, it takes that much time, and everybody in the room buys into that. Okay, so we're going to dance for this much, and we're going to play, and it's going to time, and time is a regulator. Time regulates everything we do. You know, you can have a boring time or a good time. You can have deep time, or you can have, chronological time where you just kind of go through. But when the dancing is happening, and music's happening, and everything is cooking along, that's the best place in the universe to be right there, because everything it's all correct.
Now it's electronically, there's a lot of thunder. But anyway, the thing that music, what makes people happy is just the upbeat of the music. And you can tell, like, if you got a good band and they're really performing, the dancers perform, and they're all so happy as well. So it brings out the best in both.
There's a rhythmic thing there, and it's hooked to people. You know, our heartbeats are rhythmic, and the way we walk is rhythmic. The way people talk is rhythmic.
Now, I think we should stop at this point because I'd like to give a shout out to the guy who makes this all possible, to my partner in crime, the guy behind the scenes working ever so diligently all the time, Scout.
Geez, we have good times here, don't we, Scout? Hey? Yeah, good times, good memories. You know what we should do? We should make a scrapbook.
No, that wasn't Nelly Furtado. And even if it was Nelly Furtado, you can't bother her. You can't ask her for her autograph.
Neil Young!
Heat oven to 400 degrees and cook for 15 minutes. Fancy myself a bit of a cook in the kitchen.
Scout, did you hear that? I heard something in the bushes. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
What's the matter, Scout? You cold? It's Saskatchewan, Scout, in the winter time. You got to dress for it, man.
Look what Scout did. Look at the decorations. Isn't that nice? Good job, Scout.
What's that, Scout? Yeah, maybe I am auditioning for Hinterland's Who's Who.
What's it to you? Scout, put that down. Scout, it looks expensive.
Come on, boy. Come on, Scout. Oh, good boy. Who's a good Scout? Yes, good boy.
Oh, you don't get scared. Oh, Scout doesn't get scared. Do you, Scout? No, you're a manly man, aren't you, Scout? Yeah. He doesn't. He doesn't. Oh, my God. Oh, sorry. No, my bad. Thought I saw something.
Anyway. Oh, hi. It's your mom. What's up? Sure, I'll tell him. Okay. He says bye. Okay. Bye-bye. Your mom wants you to pick up some milk on the way home, Scout, and eggs. And Dr. Pepper? Cheers, buddy. Good times. And I know, I'm not the easiest guy to follow around with a camera. In fact, it's not easy following around a lot of our MaxMag journalists. I mean, look at some of the shows that they've had to do, like skydiving, that's not easy, or canoeing, anything in nature, anything with dogs. Dancing with some of our interviewees, remember that one? Yeah. And then, of course, there's all the crazed fans. You got to deal with that. Crazed fans who want a piece of your clothing, reach out and touch you, or an autograph. What do you mean, no? They don't? Well, they do with me. Yes, they do. Look, while I try and convince Scout that I do too have fans, why don't you watch what some of our MaxMag journalists had to go through to get you their stories?
Well, while I was a kid, I always wanted to fly, and there was no flight schools or anything around. There was no air cadets where I lived. There was 4 of us at work that thought that it would be nice to be able to take up flying again, and the gliding is the least expensive way to get a license. The launch is very quick, from ground to 2,000 feet in about 43 seconds. When we release, things get quieter, and once we're there, we'll even let you fly it. We have 12-year-olds in the club. A 12, a 13-year-old, they can't fly solo until 14. They can't get a license until 16. But they're learning, they're well along the way. Once they become 14, they can fly solo, but they have to stay close to the field where the instructor can keep an eye on them.
I've lived my dream for 27 years, doing this, flying balloons and flying airplanes and pretty much anything that flies. You know, I've been obsessed with flying since I was at least 10 years old.
Is that?
Yeah, I was making model airplanes with no mentorship at 10 years old. Even flying airplanes, no two flights are really the same, but they're similar. But in balloons, it's completely different every time. Landing conditions are different, where you're going to travel is different. If I land 2 times in the same field within a lifetime, that's unusual. Probably taken over 15,000 people. People love it, especially after they land, to finish the landing. Then you're their best friend. You know, this is something that you can't learn from a textbook. It's not, okay, 2,800 RPM and, you know, full flaps and off you go or something like that, like an airplane. You just have to get the feel for it. And once you do get the feel for it, that becomes part of you. And you feel the wind, you feel everything. And that's why I've never gone back to flying airplanes full time.
Right now. Okay. Get it. No. Come on, grab it. You can. Don't get hurt. Come on, baby. Watch it. Oh. Son of a gun. Come on now. Come on now.
You said you knew how to do this?
I think for a while.
You said you knew how to do this. I think so. Okay, fine, but hey.
These
guys get out first.
Before you get out.
Yeah.
Where's our other camera?
Okay, we're just dropping off a few. We're just dropping off a few guys. We're taking off right away. And there's no chocolate in this place.
Where's the chocolate,
Where's
Rusty?
the chocolate, Rusty? I don't see any.
I'll tell you what, Max Magazine has been a learning experience, and not just with people either. I mean, we've learned about a lot of great places to go and see, and we've learned lessons. We've learned lessons in safety. We've learned lessons in cooking. Here's my specialty. Horseback riding, skydiving, you name it. I mean, Saskatchewan offers a lot in the area of learning.
The facility was constructed in 1928. It's 81 years old now. It's old, clear Douglas fir. It's very sound old structure. And the floor itself is world famous.
It's mounted on horsetail hair, so it can give.
That's what makes it so world famous right now is the horsetail floor.
They used to dance every day of the week here. They had dances every day of the week. They called them jitney dances. English word meaning nickel. And you paid for the dance, you didn't pay to enter the building.
The first time I took a girl dancing was to Danceland here. It was in 1942, and we were dancing to Mark Kenny and his Western Gentleman. I'll never forget it. It wasn't Millie. She wasn't born at the time.
She walks early, remembering the story, tossing around in her mind best choices made at the time, fall leaves applauding her insights.
I'm a school teacher, and I love to teach. And there's a passion there. And I've been teaching for 30 years, and I consider myself very lucky. That passion has brought me probably to the stage of sharing words and sharing poetry, but I find it very engaging to be able to get up and share your voice in a spoken sense, because I really think you can have an effect on the soul.
Comfort me with apples, for I am sick with love.
inside each of us is an artist. And an artist in the visual sense, or the romantic sense, or the spoken word sense, the poetry. Everybody's got something. And I think that we far too often leave it to the very greats, and we don't let it evolve within ourselves. And that little bit of artist inside of us needs to speak out, even in a very quiet way. It needs to be shared. And when we share it, we become much more of a holistic person.
We were so many. We were living as one. We were miles of moiling wheat in the sizzling summer sun.
You guys have helped me out on a lot of episodes, and going back a few years too, I remember we were at the University of Saskatchewan in the biology department. Remember the dinosaurs? You were 3 years old at the time. How old are you now? We'll work on the math later, but he's 7 years old. Our first episode, I know you do. Say hello, Madeline.
Hello, Madeline. Hello, this is Brad Grass. Okay.
Hey, kids! I know. But here all over Saskatchewan, like, he goes, ah! That's right.
Our next destination is at flight school, where Captain Brad needs to go.
And it's coming fast, oh no! Woo!
Daddy's it!
Well, I figured out how to get out of this catastrophe. No! Like this. Don't buy Megan a pony. She'll work extra hard.
Cut! Is it on? Is it recording? Is it recording? Trona! Madame et Monsieur, merci pour votre Max Air. Nous allons à venir mon moment et nous attendre avec impatience à volant avec vous encore. Au revoir.
Bye-bye. I'm so lucky to have you guys to help me out through these years. Kids are just fun, and they work hard, and they play hard. Like J.D. McPhee from the U of R women's soccer program. There's a great story. And, Nicole Hine and her desire for a horse led her to be an incredible Canadian entrepreneur. Let's watch these amazing stories.
Well, I've been playing for about 11 years, I think, and I just grew up with it. It's been the main sport I've played pretty much my whole life.
I've coached probably in the area of about 10 years, 10 or 11 years. Started out with my oldest, which is Jade. Started soccer, it was under 6, and Casey followed shortly after. And then throughout the years, I've coached both Casey and Jade, and now my youngest, Megan, as well. So it's been something that soccer's been a pretty big part of our life for quite a number of years, actually.
My dad's been my coach for as long as I can remember. He's coached me since under 6, I think, and it just means a lot, him being my dad and stuff. And me and my sister are coaching my youngest sister, and we've coached her for about 3 years now. And just, I don't know, I like helping out the younger girls and showing them like some skills they may not know and teaching them. And with coaching, the girls, they look up to you, and you know that what you say can make a difference to people, and you hope that it does.
She helped me learn how to juggle the ball. She taught me how to step over. She taught me lots of things. We have a soccer net outside, so we kick it around in the net. And you don't want to get in front of my sister's shots. 1, 2, 3,
Nicole actually came to me one day, and she had told me that she wanted to buy a horse. And I had told her that it's very expensive to own a horse. So of course, Nicole, being the type of person that she is, ended up going on the internet, and she compiled a whole bunch of information all about horses, everything from how much the shots are to how much it costs for board, how much to buy them, all the horses that were available for sale at the present time as well. And she brought kind of her little business plan of, here's my horse, and I know all about it now, so let's go get one.
And she said, well, you don't need a good job, you need a good idea. So I was thinking about it, and a couple of days later she was making honey and peanut butter sandwiches, and I came into the kitchen and just asked her why hasn't anybody put honey into tubes.
And I was just like, wow, now there's a good idea. I actually purchased the horse in September and kept it a secret until December so that she could have it for her 13th birthday. And she's been paying for it ever since, so.
This is Diesel, and he's my Tubies horse, and he's paid for by the money I get from Tubies. Diesel takes quite a lot of work, like have to make sure he's kept fed and brushed and stuff like that.
She's a very determined person. If she wants something, she reaches out, she goes for it, so I will support that.
I've learned that it's very hard to get a business going, and I've learned that it's really rewarding if you do. Hard work is quite worth it because you get what you want at the beginning, like my horse, if you follow through.
I'll tell you what, I really have fun at this job. We both do. Hey, Scout, you know, we get to meet new people and we get to learn new things and eat good food and play. That's fake, right? I'm gonna name you Nemo. Yes, I am.
Right over here.
Yes, we will. What kind of breed is this and can I ride it?
I'm not sure if I believe this teacher because she said that burrowing owl is no kung fu.
The teacher said, burrowing owls, no kung fu. I dive out of my stomach? Here's the musical award. Susan, I think I found something. It's just that I wouldn't know how to put this on.
Well, that's actually for a female.
1, 2, 3, go! I'm playing with a Ginla. Well, a girl version of a Ginla, but still, a Ginla. Now, I'm not the only one that really gets into these stories. I mean, we've got a lot of journalists and editors that really get into them too. So much so, in fact, that they'll often style their stories around the subject matter. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. We had one team follow around a rock band named Sparky all across Western Canada. And they put the footage together and they told that story in a very unique way.
Well, here we are in Penticton, beautiful city.
You're going to be playing a show here in a couple hours with a few local bands and Ninja Spy.
This is the first show with them on this part of the tour, going all the way back home to Saskatchewan. We did have a few little mishaps.
Bass amp broke.
John's bass rig went out on the last song.
Neil was having a lot of trouble with his vocals and his mouth and his tasting, and his tongue was fuzzy, and exhaust leaking from the van was just horrible.
It's still affecting me and probably will for the rest of the tour. Actually, I'm tasting it right now.
So we pulled into Revelstoke the next day and found a shop, and they got us in there and put it up on a hoist and saw that I guess the exhaust manifold has a bolt broken off in the engine block, so there's really nothing they can do. We were pulling into Edson, it got like really, really bad, and there was no avoiding it, so we stopped.
And everyone got out and looked at the passenger side tire, and they all thought it was that tire. But I jumped out, I checked out the driver's side, and sure enough, there was a split tread on the driver's side tire, which was making that vibration.
We got a chance to pull over.
We used Ninja Spy's jack.
We put on our spare tire because everywhere in Edson was way too expensive on a Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Sparky actually made a little bit of money.
So that'll be nice. We can put that towards the pressing of our next disc or some merchandise or something.
Here we go. Happy 100th episode, Max Magazine.
Hey,
awesome.
yes.
100 episodes. Did you know that's approximately 499 stories and interviews, including my own segments? I mean, we've had a great opportunity over the years to meet a lot of amazing people, but you know what? We want to meet more. So if you've got an amazing story or an event, just email us at max.localandemand@sastel.sk.ca. Well, this is it. This just about wraps up our celebratory episode of Max Magazine. Let's raise our glasses and say cheers! Cheers! Awesome. And remember, keep those ideas and stories coming in for the next 100 episodes. So that's it. That wraps it up. Until next time. Sorry, what's that, Scout? You've got a DVD. What DVD? A special DVD? What are you talking about?
Dad, it's the blooper reel, duh.
Blooper reel? No, I thought we burned that.
No, he burned another one, see? Let's watch it.
No, let's not watch it.
Dad,
No.
all of your embarrassing moments now.
No, let's not watch that. Now, today's episode is all about challenges. We in Saskatchewan, we know all about them. Challenges, these are things that people put in front of... and cut. Will you... Good nose. Nice nose.
I guess it's rolling, so we're ready.
Fruit and rice.
He's got fruit and rice.
Good rice.
There's a mice in the bottle.
You get some.
There's a dog time.
Your stories. My stories. Our stories. Are you rolling? It's in my rider. It's in my contract.
We don't do tarantulas.
There's nothing in the world more satisfying than the weight of a classic Pinot Noir on the palate. Notes of vanilla and blackberry mingling in the finish. Is you put that on the chocolate, which is already on the graham cracker, and you put the other graham cracker on top. Graham crapper. Until then, Prost, Ganbei. What is Ganbei? Is that Chinese? Ganbei! Until then, Prost. Hey, Ganbei! Salute! And here's mud in your eye. When you touch that dial. Good God. Why is the last one always the hardest? I'm Brad Grass, and we drink now. It's acting. Acting!
Well, that's it. That wraps up another edition of Max Magazine. I'm once again joined by Grant. Grant, what is it that makes the beer so special?
Well, the fact that you can drink it so quickly.
Yes, it's good beer. And what other makes it so special?
Well, I think what makes it the most special is the fact that we're using all barley. We're not using any of those fillers that I was telling you about, like rice and corn. It's all malted barley.
And Saskatchewan barley.
Saskatchewan barley.
That's why. That's why I love you. And I love you. So thank you for joining us in this beautiful fish quenching episode of Max Magazine. See you next time. You're not supposed to drink that on camera.